Hey everyone, Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a video. I'm sorry I haven't made any videos in about 2 weeks or so. I've just been very busy with shit. Anyway, today I want to bring a album review, and this is sort of like a classic album review, and this is sort of an album just for nostalgic for me. And yesterday was this album's 10-year anniversary, and this was back when this was basically them at their peaks. And as you can see below the title, I'm going to be reviewing The Fall of Ideals by All That Remains. Now, yep, this album had its 10th anniversary yesterday. I wish I could have done that yesterday, but I totally didn't know about it, and I was also at work last night. But that's besides the point. Now, this album right here is basically one of the best metalcore albums I've heard, and this is pretty much one of the staples in the genre itself. Now, All That Remains basically are, like I said, are a metalcore band from Massachusetts. They've been around since the late 90s, early 2000s. And they basically kind of have that metalcore stuff. Like, the first couple albums, like, their first two albums, like, I think it's Behind Solace and Solitude was their debut, and This Darkened Heart had that, but also had a little bit more of the melodic death metal sound to it, similar to, like, a lot of the metalcore bands around that time such as All That Remains, Killswitch, and Shadows Fall, basically have also influenced by the Swedish melodic death metal sounds with bands such as At the Gates, In Flames, Dark Tranquillity, Soilwork, all that stuff. And they basically blended that into the style that we know as metalcore, with sort of different types of it. And with this album, it kind of still has a little bit of the mellow death feel to it, but also has that metalcore style to it, especially the more metalcore vibe is on this album as opposed to the mellow death on the first two albums. And the one thing I know about this album is, like, Phil Abante's vocals. Like, he does some really great screams. And I just like he can also do some really just insane death metal growls. It's just insane. And the guitar work, I mean, Ollie Herbert and Mike Martin just basically come up with some really great riffs and some dueling leads, and basically Ollie's soloing is just insane. And Janie Sagan's bass playing is a little bit audible. I can hear it a bit on some of the songs. And the drumming from Shannon Lucas, who played drums on this album, and he used to play for the Black Dahlia Murder. He has some insane drumming on this album. But yeah, let's dive into this album track by track. Now the album opens up with this calling thing, and right away we go right into it. So it starts off with Phil screaming, and just a really great chorus, and just some insane double bass in the chorus. And honestly, this is a really great opener, a great way to start off this album. And next song we get into is Not Alone, and it just starts off with some really great, impressive guitars, and it's just a very great, clean chorus. And I just love how Phil does like another scream on there, and it's just a really great solo, and just one of the best songs on this album. It Dwells in Me. I mean, it starts off yet again with another scream. It just has some really great melodic riffs, and just a very well done solo on this song. We Stand just has some very great melodic death metal riffs, and just the riffs on this song in particular is just very catchy. It's pretty much keeps you very interested. Then we get to Whispers, I Hear Your. Now this is kind of where it kind of a bit unexpected with this. It kind of starts off very slow and has some bit of acoustic the guitars, and then after that just goes right into it. Just some bit heaviness. It just has some really great clean vocals on there. Right. The Weak Willed. Well, just the riffing, especially the tremolo picking. It's just insane with the fast drumming, and just the death growl from Phil is just insane. And this song just has just harsh vocals, no clean vocals at all. It's just pretty much the heaviest song on here, in my opinion. Then we get to 6. Now, honestly, I feel like this should have been the 6th track, but I guess that would be too simple. But yeah, 6, which is pretty much my favorite song on the song. Kind of like I consider this kind of like the highlight. Just some very fast flat beats, and just some really great metalcore and melodic death metal riffs. And it's just, I really like around the minute and a half. It kind of goes to a slower part, and it just has a good slow part, and then it just goes near the end, just goes fast back at it again. Become the Catalyst starts off with a death growl and just some very fast riffs, just some insane and some just really fast drumming. It's just wow. Just this whole album is just really great. All right. The Air That I Breathe, it kind of has a little bit of an old school type vibe to it, and just some very aggressive verses. It's just a very melodic chorus. There's in there. It's a pretty good song. Then we get to Empty Inside. Now, I actually enjoyed the song a lot. I honestly think this is the most underrated All That Remains song. Just the riffs on that song in particular are just really catchy, and they just kind of click with me. And then the album closes with Indictment, and I think it's a pretty good way to end this album. Now, overall, The Fall of Ideals by All That Remains is a really great album. This is pretty much them at their peak, and I feel like after this they kind of went, nah. I mean, their next album is alright, and but that's besides the point. If I were to give this album a score, I'd probably give this a solid 10 out of 10. It's just a really great metalcore album. This is basically what metalcore should sound like now. And I really wish this band would do a 10th anniversary tour. So if any of the members of All That Remains are watching this, do a tour. But anyway, that's my review of The Fall of Ideals, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Keep it metal.